Is Harumasa a secretly OP character? You don't want to miss out his hidden potential. Harumasa is a free, limited S-rank electric attack agent with versatile melee and ranged attack modes, offering high burst damage, low team building cost, and a flexible playstyle while maintaining awakened state. So, how do we enter his awakened state? Let's dive right into his kit. As mentioned earlier, Harumasa is an electric-type attacker whose abilities center on dealing electric damage through an awakening triggered by a unique trap mechanic called Electro Quivers. Before we dive into how the Electro Quiver works, we first need to understand how to obtain it. Harumasa generates blue orbs, known as Electro Quivers, on the field when using specific skills. Each skill generates a different number of Electro Quivers, with a maximum of 6 possible on the field at any given time. The 5th basic attack generates 2 Electro Quivers. The EX special attack triggers an enhanced arrow, generating 6 Electro Quivers upon hitting an enemy or the ground. The chain attack generates 6 Electro Quivers as well. Additionally, if you initiate the chain attack while no Electro Quivers are present on the field, the next 5th hit of the basic attack will generate 6 Electro Quivers. Interestingly, you can also gain 6 Electro Quivers for free if any squad member inflicts anomaly on enemies with a cooldown of 12 seconds. Holding the special or basic attack activates the Electro Quivers on the field, triggering a mechanic called Falling Feather. This sends the quivers directly at enemies and applies a debuff known as Electro Prison. The Electro Prison debuff can stack up to 8 times and last for 10 seconds. When an enemy accumulates 2 or more stacks of Electro Prison, they are marked with the X mark status. When enemies have the X mark status, Harumasa enters the awakened state. In this state, he can perform empowered dash attacks to quickly close the gap and unleash his special attack, Heighten no Tsuru Slash. This powerful slash consumes 2 stacks of Electro Prison from the target. If Electro Prison stacks remain, the attack can be repeated. However, if fewer than 2 stacks are available, the X mark status and awakened state will be removed. This loop of accumulating Electro Quivers, applying Electro Prison, and performing empowered dash attacks allows Harumasa to maintain consistent high damage output and stay agile on the battlefield. Harumasa's dash attack has a 25% increased crit rate. When it lands a critical hit, he gains a buff called Gleaming Edge. This buff can stack up to 3 times per skill use, with a maximum of 6 stacks overall. Each stack lasts for 5 seconds, and the duration resets with repeated triggers. Each Gleaming Edge stack boosts the crit DMG of his dash attack by 12%. And if there is a stun or anomaly character on the team, Harumasa's damage increases by 40% when attacking stunned enemies or those affected by attribute anomaly. Additionally, his Falling Feather skill applies 2 stacks of Electro Prison to such enemies. There are different types of combo he can utilize. This following are just a few operational suggestions that you can use. First, use a stun character to put the enemy into the stunned state. Harumasa then uses chain attack to enter the field, generating 6 Electro Quivers upon entry. Next, use X special attack to hit the enemy, generating an additional 6 Electro Quivers. Meanwhile, the Electro Quivers already on the field are activated and converted into 6 stacks of Electro Prison on the enemy. Hold to aim or hold the special attack to fire Falling Feather, activating the remaining Electro Quivers on the field and continuing to initiate Heighten no Tsuru. After dodging, performing basic attacks, and initiating Heighten no Tsuru, slash 3 times, completing the output. With this combo, you can unleash a ton of damage by fully maximizing his kit's potential. And lastly, the recommended skill priority and materials. Since most of Harumasa's damage comes from his dash attack, as shown in the graph made by I Am Rivenous, you'll want to prioritize upgrading his core skill. Then, upgrade his ultimate, followed by his X special, and finally, his basic attack. If you want to pre-farm, you can use this picture made by Zenless.post as a reference. Keep in mind that some materials might still be unknown and could become available in the next update. So for the most anticipated question, is Harumasa worth investing in? For a short answer, yes. Harumasa compensates for his archetype's weaknesses with insane damage multipliers and excellent synergy with some of the best supports available. But here's the twist. His damage output is heavily dependent on his weapon and support team. This raises questions about his synergy. Do you have reliable stunners? If not, his damage potential will take a hit. So, what are the best team compositions to maximize his damage? The strongest and most effective team so far is a mono-electric setup, featuring Harumasa, Qingyi, and Rina. In this lineup, Qingyi not only stuns enemies, but also increases their stun damage multiplier, maximizing Harumasa's burst damage potential. Rina, being the most powerful electric support currently, enhances Harumasa's penetration and extends the duration of shock inflicted on enemies, which helps maintain the Thunder Metal buff. Although slightly less optimal, you can replace Qingyi with Anbi. Similarly, you can swap Rina for Caesar, who provides massive attack buffs to Harumasa and sustains the entire team, or Nicole, who excels at grouping enemies and boosting overall damage output. Harumasa has access to a variety of W engines, with the best option undoubtedly being his exclusive critical damage W engine. This engine provides a direct enhancement to his Hiten no Tsuru, slash through its dash attack boost. Its passive also grants a significant increase to Harumasa's crit rate, making it a highly recommended choice. However, this doesn't mean he lacks viable alternatives for free-to-play players. For a free-to-play option, the first choice is definitely the upcoming event weapon, Marcato Desire. Its main stat focuses on crit rate, which is crucial for Harumasa since his core passive, Gleaming Edge, requires a crit hit to trigger. The additional crit rate bonus makes this weapon especially important for optimizing his performance. Another solid alternative is Drill Rig Red Axis, traditionally used on Anton. While Harumasa doesn't heavily rely on energy regeneration, this W engine helps him trigger his passives and generate quivers more consistently, making it a viable and effective option. One of the most significant advantages of Drill Rig Red Axis is the 50% electric damage bonus from dash attacks, which aligns perfectly with Harumasa's main kit. Dash attacks are central to his playstyle, making this W engine particularly effective. However, its drawback lies in the lack of an attack percentage boost. To compensate for this, pairing him with characters like Rina or a stat balancer such as Caesar can help supplement his attack stats. For premium options, the Cannon Rotor from the Battle Pass is an excellent choice, providing a strong crit rate boost that aids in better stat balancing. For 5-star weapons, the Riot Suppressor Mark VI is exceptional, offering both crit damage and crit rate, making it perfect for optimizing Harumasa's stats. Additionally, Brimstone could be a great alternative with its massive attack percentage boost. If you choose Brimstone, you can prioritize energy regeneration in other areas of your build. After learning about W Engine, let's see what disk drive Harumasa used. Harumasa primarily deals electric damage, and the 4-piece Thunder Metal set is a perfect match for him. The Thunder Metal set boosts electric damage and attack when the enemy is shocked, which aligns perfectly with Harumasa's kit. If you don't have the 4-piece Thunder Metal, replacing it with a 2-piece Woodpecker set is also a solid choice, as it increases Harumasa's crit rate, helping to trigger his core passive more reliably. For the main stats, prioritize crit rate or crit damage on the 4th disc, electric damage bonus on the 5th disc, and attack on the 6th disc. As for the substats, the recommendations are as follows. Harumasa's Mindscapes are essential for enhancing his performance, with each unlock offering unique benefits to improve his combat efficiency. Let's break down how each Mindscape contributes to his potential. To begin with, Mindscape 1 is strongly recommended. It significantly improves combo fluidity and operation tolerance, allowing Harumasa to perform more Hiten no Tsuru, slash attacks during each burst cycle. Additionally, unlocking this Mindscape lets him launch 2 consecutive Hyodo no Ya when firing Falling Feather and increases the stack limit of Electro Prison to 14. Moving on, Mindscape 2 provides a straightforward but effective stat boost. This directly enhances the damage output of Hiten no Tsuru, slash, making his attacks hit even harder. Next, Mindscape 4 further improves his operational flexibility. By accelerating ultimate activation, it helps optimize his rotations and ensures smoother gameplay during critical moments. Finally, Mindscape 6 is another highly recommended upgrade. It grants Harumasa a valuable bonus to ignore electric resistance, allowing his attacks to be more effective against resistant enemies. On top of that, it adds an extra instance of powerful electric damage, further increasing his overall damage potential. Each Mindscape plays a crucial role in maximizing Harumasa's capabilities, making him a more versatile and powerful combatant. Now, what kind of Bangboo you should pair up with him? When paired with other electric characters, it's recommended to use Plugboo to increase the frequency of anomaly triggers, accelerating the production of Electro Quivers from Harumasa's additional ability. Use Butler in other builds to restore characters' energy and perform more EX special attacks. That's all! Do you think Harumasa is strong enough to compete in the current meta? Comment down below, and see you next time. Bye-bye.